2026. I hereby appoint the Honorable David J. Taylor to act as Speaker pro tempore on this day. Signed, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Pursuant to the order of the House of January 6, 2026, the chair will now recognize members from lists submitted by the majority and minority leaders for morning hour debate. The chair will alternate recognition between the parties with time equally allocated between the parties and each member other than the majority and minority leaders and the minority whip limited to 5 minutes, but in no event shall debate and minority leaders and the minority whip limited to 5 minutes, but in no event shall debate continue beyond 1:50 p.m. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Joyce, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, President Trump issued an executive order to prioritize the development of the U.S. warfighter. President Trump has made significant strides to strengthen the U.S. military capabilities, and this executive order continues to do just that. Enhancing the lethality and readiness of our military forces relies on the highly skilled practices of defense contracting partners. Partners like JLG Industries, Volvo Construction Equipment, the Manitowoc Company, and firms like Lockheed Martin, Leonardo DRS, Kongsberg Defense Corporation, and JWS Defense Systems. These are all examples of companies that put our nation's vital interests first. These are all companies that are in Pennsylvania's 13th Congressional District. President Trump's initiative will hold defense 13th Congressional District. President Trump's initiative will hold defense to the highest standards by refocusing on our nation's military readiness, especially needed in these incredibly dangerous times. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to acknowledge the efforts of the Gettysburg National Military Park to restore several monuments. This restoration effort follows the vandalism of historic monuments at Gettysburg. These memorials honor the brave soldiers who fought and who died in one of the most pivotal American battles. Restoring these monuments will take months and cost taxpayers thousands of dollars, resources that should have never been necessary to expend. These actions were not simply acts of graffiti. They were acts that damage our legacy. These monuments stand as reminders of sacrifice, unity, and the ongoing work of perfecting this union. They deserve our utmost respect. We owe it to those who fought for these freedoms and to the future generations of Americans to ensure that our national parks and memorials are preserved. Representing Pennsylvania's 13th Congressional District, I thank Superintendent Chris Heister and her staff at Gettysburg National Military Park for their dedication to protecting these sacred sites. I urge all constituents to uphold the highest respect for those who died so that we might enjoy the many freedoms that we continue to have today. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to honor the Huntington Area School District on its selection as a Great Pennsylvania School. Bestowed by the Pennsylvania School Board Association, this designation recognizes school districts across Pennsylvania for academic excellence. As Superintendent Jennifer Mitchell stated, this meaningful designation reflects the shared commitment to high-quality, innovative, and community-centered education in Huntington. I join with constituents throughout Huntington in congratulating the Huntington Area School District, Superintendent Mitchell, and the School Board of Directors on this district designation as one of Pennsylvania's great schools. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to honor the life and community impact of Tina Pileski, a dedicated advocate for veterans who passed away at the age of 56 this past Christmas Eve. Tina devoted her professional life to the Veteran Community Initiatives, a nonprofit organization in Johnstown that provides numerous services for veterans in a 14-county region that includes Cambria, Somerset, and Bedford counties. Tina most recently served as VTI's Director of Finance and Administration. In her partnership with VCI founder Tom Caulfield, Tina was instrumental in supporting numerous aspects of VCI's mission. As we pause to remember Tina, we also keep her husband David and her entire family in our prayers. We also express a nation's gratitude for her passionate commitment that advocates like Tina Pileski and Tom Caulfield make each and every day for all of those who serve this great country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield.
The gentleman yields. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Subramaniam, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to recognize Korean American Day, a day to commemorate the first wave of Korean immigrants to the United States and honor the generations who have followed. And I'm proud to represent a vibrant Korean American community in Virginia, a community that has made incredible contributions across the country in government, business, technology, education, the arts, and more. Today is a solemn reminder, too, of the Korean American families who remain divided as a result of the Korean War, including families in my district whose stories I've heard firsthand. The Korean War separated thousands of families who have spent decades seeking reunification and closure, but I'm proud to be championing bipartisan legislation that I introduced earlier this year to help accelerate the reunification of these families. And this was recently signed into law, offering these families hope for a long overdue reunion. I look forward to continuing to work with the Korean American community in my district and across the country to make these reunions a reality, and wish everyone a happy Korean American Day. Mr. Speaker, my office has been working with so many constituents harmed by the administration's new immigration policies, one of which placed a hold on immigration petitions and applications from 19 countries designated by the administration. In our district, families followed the law. They filed their paperwork and waited in good faith. They were told their application was in good order and would be approved soon, and then the process completely stopped. Work permit applications were frozen, leaving people legally present but unable to work. Asylee and refugee family petitions have also stalled, and there are so many heartbreaking stories, like one hopeful couple in my office who's trying to plan their wedding but remains separated while they wait, or another person has not been able to unite with their sons or daughters. These delays have been putting people's lives on hold indefinitely without any sort of timeline or transparency, and we must restore timely adjudication of these applications. Mr. Speaker, for the second year in a row, Fauquier Hospital has been named the top general hospital in the nation. Fauquier Hospital has received an A grade for the last 18 months and is recognized as a certified primary stroke center and has a 97-bed acute care hospital. Only 52 hospitals receive this honor every year, and we're glad to have Fauquier Hospital serving our community. Healthcare institutions around the country continue to face challenges with cuts to Medicaid, the ACA tax credits expiring, and burnt-out workforces that are asked to do more with less every single day. The Senate must take up the 3-year ACA tax credit extension to address healthcare costs, and we must make sure that we restore Medicaid funding, or we risk losing hospitals like Fauquier Hospital. Working in healthcare is often a thankless job, and I hope the House will join me in thanking the nurses, doctors, and staff that keep hospitals like Fauquier Hospital running. Mr. Speaker, I rise to congratulate the Polar Veterans Care Center on its grand opening on the historic grounds of former Flint Hill Farm Station in Fauquier County. I'm so excited about this center because it's going to deliver top quality care to veterans in our region. 128 private rooms are organized into households and neighborhoods around a central community center, and the site actually played a decisive role during World War II in intercepting enemy communications, including the message that helped pave the way for the D-Day invasion of Normandy. So it is fitting that a place that helped secure freedom will now serve those who fought to preserve it. The center appropriately honors the Polar family, including General Louis Chesty Polar, one of the most decorated Marines in our history, his son, Lieutenant Louis Polar, Jr., a Vietnam veteran and a Pulitzer Prize winner as well, and former delegate and state senator Toddy Polar. So congratulations to all who made this grand opening of the Polar Center a reality. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Iowa, Ms. Miller Meeks, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to congratulate my constituents, Jack Winslow and Charlie Winslow, on earning first place at the Iowa State Automotive Dealers Association High School Skills Contest in Des Moines. Jack and Charlie worked hard to represent Pleasant Valley High School and to show their skill and dedication to automotive technology and repair. These students advanced through 2 rigorous phases of competition, beginning with a written assessment focused on automotive repair, followed by a demanding hands-on evaluation. During the hands-on section of the competition, Jack and Charlie took measurements, diagnosed faults, and completed repair processes, earning the highest scores among Pleasant Valley competitors. As a result of their outstanding achievements, Jack and Charlie were awarded first place, along with a new tool cart and a scholarship to Des Moines area community college's automotive program, helping them continue pursuing their passion for automotive technology. I could not be prouder to recognize Jack and Charlie for all their hard work and for this amazing accomplishment. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to celebrate my constituent, Kate Giannini of Washington County, for receiving the prestigious Fulbright Specialist Award to the Netherlands. Kate will complete a project at Deltares, a major technological institute in the Netherlands, focused on environmental science, knowledge sharing, and building lasting partnerships that benefit communities in the United States and abroad. Kate is one of over 400 Americans selected each year for this honor based on professional achievement, leadership, and commitment to international cooperation. Kate works full-time at the Iowa Flood Center, co-owns a small business with her husband, Ryan, serves with Burr Oak Land Trust, is a mom of 2, and is an active community volunteer. We are proud to have her representing Iowa and to recognize this amazing achievement and opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise today with a heavy heart to honor the life and legacy of a friend and pioneer in Iowa, Dave Streb. Dave was the co-owner of Streb Construction Company, along with his brother Steve, where for decades they helped build the backbone of our communities, paving subdivisions, parking lots, city streets, county roads, interstates, and airports across our great state. But Dave's legacy goes far beyond concrete and construction. He was a man who believed in hard work, craftsmanship, showing up every day to make Iowa stronger than it was the day before, and he was a proud Hawkeye. Through his leadership, Streb Construction became a trusted name, supporting good-paying jobs and helping communities grow and connect. Dave Streb leaves behind a lasting imprint on Iowa's landscape and an even greater impact on the people who knew him. He will be deeply missed, and his legacy will endure in every mile laid and in every life connected. Mr. Speaker, I wish to extend birthday greetings to my sister. Happy birthday, Mary Ann. And before I yield, I'd just like to raise the podium in memory of my great colleague, Representative Doug Lamalfa. Doug, you will be sorely missed. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
The gentlewoman yields. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Hill, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, recently America witnessed the new mayor of America's largest city share his democratic socialism vision with New Yorkers. He pledged to replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. Here in our nation's semi-quincentennial, 250 years of liberty, the new mayor rejected the fundamentals of American hard work and the extraordinary benefits of markets that have freed billions from hunger and from poverty around the globe. Anyone with even a basic knowledge of history knows that government-enforced collectivism always ends in poverty, death, and despair. Look at Cuba, Mr. Speaker, where the warmth of communism have left people with no rights, no freedom, and driving cars from the 1940s and 50s. Or Xinjiang, China, where the Uyghurs are imprisoned and enslaved to labor. Or, certainly no modest case, the Korean Peninsula, North Korea, where people are in darkness 12 months a year, where people are stunted by malnutrition and oppression and live in darkness literally and figuratively. Compared to South Korea, Mr. Speaker, in less than 3 generations since the end of the Korean conflict, the average South Korean is 3 inches taller, lives 12 years longer, and earns 18 times more than their northern struggling counterpart. Same people, same peninsula, one system embraced the individual, the other the collective. And of course, their millions starved to death and thrown into the gulags by Mao's China and Stalin's Soviet Union. These aren't abstract failures, Mr. Speaker. They're graveyards built on broken bodies. What starts as hope ends in tyranny and death every time. Mr. Speaker, I rise to shed light on the discrimination faced by Coptic Christians in Egypt. Coptic Christians face restrictions on building churches, have limited representation in government, and tragically have been targets of violence and persecution. They're attacked in the streets, held as political prisoners, and have little recourse. The discrimination they face not only violates their basic human rights, but also undermines Egypt's rich cultural diversity and history, as well as Egypt's own legal commitments to its citizens. It's critical for the international community to encourage the Egyptian government to further embrace religious tolerance, effectively protect minority rights, and ensure equality under the law for all of its citizens. It's important for us to bring to light these issues and do all we can to promote our values that no matter what race or religion, all people deserve dignity and respect. As the Coptic post Twald Rodris told me, all Egyptians take their water from the Nile. In that spirit, Egypt has work to do. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the leadership of Dr. Cam Patterson, our former Chancellor of the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. Last year, Dr. Patterson announced his decision to step down from leadership after 7 years of focused, dedicated service to the university, the medical school, and the people of Arkansas. Under his leadership, UAMS continued its commitment to excellence. As UAMS faced the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Patterson helped expand access to care across the state and navigated the pandemic while strengthening the university's reputation for excellence in research, patient care, and medical education. As he remains at UAMS as a professor of cardiovascular medicine, Dr. Patterson will continue to advance his spirit of innovation, compassion, and service. Thank you, Dr. Patterson, for your leadership for always putting Arkansas families first. Mr. Speaker, I rise in condolence to Jill LaMaffa and the LaMaffa family of Northern California, that beautiful area north of Sacramento, deep in the wilderness, home to Mount Shasta. There was no better representative of the people of California than Doug LaMaffa. He was a gentle giant. I had so much fun with him over the years. He was such a committed person to his constituents, to his state of California, to public service, to his relationships on both sides of the aisle. Deep respect. From the most liberal Democrat in California to the most conservative Republican down in Texas. They all love Doug LaMaffa. He will be missed. Martha and I share our condolences. We pray for the family at this tragic loss, but we're grateful for our friendship and service with Doug LaMaffa. I yield back, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman yields. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Guam, Mr. Moylan, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Lieutenant Colonel Reina Ray Cenero of the United States Air Force, a proud daughter of Guam, as she concludes her distinguished career in service to our nation. For nearly 2 decades, Lieutenant Colonel Cenero embodied the very best of what it means to wear the uniform. As an air battle manager, she logged more than 2,000 flight hours, including hundreds in combat and combat support missions, where decisions made in seconds carried life and death consequences for those in harm's way. Across assignments in the United States, Europe, and Indo-Pacific, she earned the trust of commanders and airmen alike, leading with precision, integrity, and care for those she served. Most recently, she helped shape the future of our Air Force through her work in the Air Combat Command, guiding policies, training, and modernization. Lieutenant Colonel Cenero Your service brings great pride to Guam and to our entire nation. Thank you for your leadership, your sacrifice, and your enduring legacy of excellence. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in heavy heart to honor the life and legacy of late Senator Carmen Altero Castobar. Born in 1935, Carmen grew up during the Japanese occupation of Guam in World War II, an experience that shaped her deep sense of responsibilities to her community and her island. She lived a life defined by service, first as a registered nurse, caring for others when they were most vulnerable, and later as senator in the Guam legislature, where she served 2 terms with professionalism and integrity. Her life spanned generations of change on Guam, from war and recovery to steady life of service rooted in community. Guam has lost a matriarch, but her legacy of service lives on through her husband, Dr. Larry Castobar, and her children and grandchildren. On behalf of a grateful island, we say, Ondunculus Sizuos Maasi, Senator, you will be deeply missed. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Dr. Mary Okada as she concludes her tenure as president of Guam Community College after many years of service to our island. Since 2007, Dr. Okada has served as president of the Guam Community College, becoming the first woman to lead the institution. Under her leadership, GCC strengthened its role as a pathway to workforce training, skilled trades, healthcare, and public service, helping students gain the skills they need to succeed and contribute to the broader community. She led with care and responsibility, ensuring strong financial stewardship and building programs that respond to the realities of Guam's workforce and economy. The impact of her work is reflected in the thousands of students whose lives were shaped by the education and training they received at GCC. Guam is stronger because of her service and investment in our students. Sizuos Maasi, Dr. Okada, for your leadership and for the opportunities you have created for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Dr. Eric Swanson upon his conclusion of service as superintendent of the Guam Department of Education. Dr. Swanson stepped into the role during a challenging period for public education on Guam. He brought a steady focus on students, accountability, and the responsibility that comes with leading an island-wide school system. During his tenure, he worked to address long-standing issues facing Guam schools while supporting educators, staff, and families who show up every day for our students. His leadership reflected a clear understanding that education is not just policy, but people. Public education on Guam carries unique challenges, and Dr. Swanson approached that with responsibility, with care, and commitment. I thank Dr. Swanson for his service to Guam students and families, and I wish him well in the next chapter ahead. I yield.
The gentleman yields. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess until 2 p.m. today.